Captains for this week will be Trey Tyler, Rodney Allen on defense, Selby and Josh Knight on offense, and we got to focus on getting better as a football team this week. As you know, we got a great challenge coming in here, and a lot of you guys have watched football as long as I've coached it, and not sure I've ever seen a quarterback like Jackson that takes over a game like he does. I mean, I just watch him play against a team that's got great speed, and he just I've never seen a guy just run away from people like he did Florida State and everybody's played against. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, and we've got to have a great week of preparation. The good thing is we got him here, and our guys will be excited about playing. So got a lot of work. It's not just Jackson, but he's surrounded. You know, they look like the one of the top three teams in America coming in here because they got a great tailback and Ratcliffe. They got a senior offensive line, and they got receivers that can make plays all over the field, and defensively they get after you. So it'll be a great challenge for us, and I know this place will be packed, and our fans will be excited, and our team will be excited to play.
Is it almost better that you come after a disappointing effort, you headlong into this team that's got everybody's attention, so it's easy to get your guys' attention? Well,
I'm not sure. I've never felt like a loss ever helps you in any way, shape, or form. I never believed that. I think you learn by winning games, and I don't know if that's the case, but I think they understand the challenge they have ahead of them, and people have been talking about that game for a long time and about Jackson, about all that, which we our kids, they got to go get ready to play. And like I say, it's going to be a great atmosphere. We've got a great team coming in. But, as if you're a competitor, you like games like this. I mean, if you love the game and you're a true competitor and you're a fighter, then these are the kind of games you like.
How many games have been here at the Joan under the lights during your time here? Talked to Selby, and the only one he could remember was the Southern Miss game last year.
I think I remember a couple Southern Miss's games, but yeah, that's a question for Woody or Steve. I can't even remember what day it is, much less how many games we played tonight. But
is there a little
Steve may be the guy to ask on that deal. But
is there a little bit added intrigue to a night game though for some of the players?
I think our kids like playing under the lights, but I guess after reading our schedule and seeing where the Pitt game is, we got a lot of opportunities playing under the lights this year, so hopefully we play well.
For coaches, how difficult is that routine, though, going to the hotel and sitting around all day and watching games and trying to maintain the focus and the hype going into a night game?
Well, there's no question. I mean, you've got, when you sit around a hotel all day, but it's part of it, and, your routine doesn't change, and, you try to get those kids out of the room several times during the day and walkthroughs and different things. So we've got a plan that we have in place when we play night games, and we'll execute that plan.
Coach, based on what your defense has done so far, is Jackson's throwing or is his passing more of a threat?
Jackson, everything he does, just look at his numbers. I mean, he just against everybody, he can definitely beat you with his feet. There's no question about that. And the thing, he runs away from people. You watch him, and he's not a guy that's going to get on the ground and slide. He's going to run over you. I mean, he's very physical. Get him down on the goal line in the score zone, and he puts his head down and tries to run over people. So he's a threat with his feet. He's also a threat with his arm, and he can do both, which is what makes him so dangerous. And like I say, he's physical. He can run. He makes people miss. He's got tremendous speed. He's just an all-around great player.
Seems like their scheme has really helped get him in one-on-one situations with defenders, and he's made a miss. How important is it, and how do you all game plan as a staff to eliminate those one-on-one situations?
Well, Coach Petrino's done a tremendous job of taking advantage of his skill set. They run a spread offense as far as the run game goes with the different options and Mickey bashes and different reads that give him the opportunity to run the football, but he still throws a West Coast offense where he's throwing the ball down the field, which is what he's done all along. So he's meshed. He's done a tremendous job of take advantage of his skill set with a spread option running game and still maintain the West Coast pass game, which is throwing verticals down the field and doing the things he's done in the past. So he's done a tremendous job of, again, taking advantage of his skill set, and he's got the tailback and he's got the receivers that surround him that is what makes him so dangerous.
He looked impossible in the read option, the run pass option. I mean, does he look slicker than even Pat White, who I'm not sure you can coach?
I don't. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen one better. I mean, I really have. I mean, you watch him, and just when you watch him, watch what he did against Florida State. I mean, Florida State's got guys that can run, and he runs away from them, and so, he's done it against really good people, and I mean, like I say, I've done this a long. I don't know that I've ever seen a guy that's controlled a game, taken over a game like he has, and I've seen some good ones. over the years. But he just, against good people, and just make them look silly at times. So he's a great challenge, but he's going to be a challenge for us like he is everybody else, and he's a tremendous player.
So what have you told Chase as far as, don't try to match this guy? I mean, what do you tell him as far as playing his own game?
Chase ain't gonna match that guy. He can't run like that guy can run. That's a totally different animal there. But no, Chase got to be Chase. I mean, he's got to do what we do, and no, Chase can't concern himself with what Lamar Jackson's doing. We have to get better as an offensive football team ourselves, and we got to take care of the football and do what we do, and not worry about what Lamar's doing offensively.
I always look for notoriety in your program every chance you get, and obviously a lot of people looking at Louisville now, and you're the team facing them, but it gives your guys a chance to shine and showcase your program here.
No, there's no doubt. Anytime you get on a national stage, I mean, I told the kids on Sunday when we practice, I mean, this is what you dream about from the time you're 2 or 3 years old, playing ball in the backyard, is playing on, getting the opportunity to play in a situation like this on a national stage against top 3 team in America. So you dream about those opportunities, and you got to prepare for those opportunities. So when that time comes, that you're prepared to go play. So that's our whole focus this week has to be on us following the plan to win. We got to take care of the football and do the things we do, and just go out and play our hearts out and see what happens.
What were the differences in Chase's performance in game 1 and game 2?
Turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. I mean, you can't. First thing in the plan to win is take care of the football. Anytime you turn the ball over 4 times, you're not and get a punt blocked, you're not going to win a game. Doesn't matter who you play. So we got to learn to take care of the football, and we've done that in the past, and that has to happen again, or we'll have no chance.
One more question about Jackson. During the spring, they emphasized his passing ability. I mean, how much different does he look in that aspect of his game from maybe any video you saw from last year?
Well, I think he became the quarterback, correct me if I'm wrong, but about halfway through last season. I think they were alternating guys in and out throughout the first part of the year, and I think he went with Jackson the second part of the season, started winning. Of course, they had a tremendous bowl game, and I think, Coach Petrino being the coach he is, he just developed an offense for him and took advantage of his skill set, which is smart on his part, and to take advantage of what that skill set is. But there's no doubt that he's improved tremendously in all areas because he's a year older. He's been in that system now for a year, and he's got some games under his belt. And again, Coach Petrino's doing a great job of taking advantage of his skill set. So he'll be a challenge for us.
Petrino's been a quarterback coach just about all his career, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done a great job wherever he's been, and he seems to always have that guy that can pull the trigger.
How much does their defense fly under the radar because of the hype surrounding Jackson?
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, because you watch them, they're extremely aggressive. They get after you. They don't sit back and they bring blitzes from all over the place. They get after you. They got good players on. There's a reason they're number 3 team in America. You don't outscore people. You got to at some point play great defense, and they do that. And they're tremendous on special teams. They had a punt return against Florida State for a touchdown, and also had another punt return that just about scored against Florida State. So they're good in all 3 phases, and again, that's why they're a top 3 team in the country right now.
Is there an extra emphasis maybe on pass blocking?
There's an extra emphasis on everything this week because you better be at your best, or you got to put in. There's an extra emphasis on everything we do. It has to be.
Before the first game, you mentioned about how many players were going to the hotel for the first time after 2 games. Just generally from the new guys, are you seeing what you expected from them, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a question. We got to continue to get better, and we didn't play near as many of those young kids. Of course, the game didn't dictate it on last week, but those guys have to continue to get better because at some point during the season we're going to need them, and we have to just get better as a football team. We weren't near good enough on Saturday, and we got to get a whole lot better this week.
I feel like there's a knee-jerk reaction from fans and everybody in the outside world. They look at the score of last week and maybe not take into account it doesn't matter who you're going to play. If you give up 35 points in essentially only 5 plays, you're going to lose most games.
Well, I don't think there's any question about that. And we expect to win every game we play, just like our fans do. I mean, we got the point around here: you lose a game, and the world's coming to an end. But that's okay. I mean, that's what the expectations and standards, and that's where we are. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we have to understand is you better put that behind you and move forward, or you're not going to get better as a team. So when you do happen to lose a game, you got to put it behind you and move forward quick, because at this point there are no breaks. I mean, we got 10 straight weeks now of playing ball, and if we don't come back every Sunday, Monday, and start preparing for the next week, we're not going to look up at the end of the year and like where we are. So you got to put that one behind you, regardless of what happens, win or lose, and then move on to the next one. And we got to do that for 10 straight weeks and find a way to be where we want to be at the end of the year. That's the ultimate goal. But again, I told the quarterback club yesterday, there's nothing wrong with being upset. Losing sucks. I hate it. You hate it. Everybody does. But that's a good thing that we feel like we do around here, because when you lose one, you feel like the world's going to come to an end, and then that's what the expectations and standards are here, and that's okay. I mean, that's what we want, and that's what we've gotten to the point where we are. And as a head coach, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's good. That's a good thing.
It's such a young secondary. I mean, the guy with the most starts has 5. What do you do with those guys, less physically, more mentally maybe this week?
Yeah.
Pick them up a little bit.
Yeah, try to help them. We got to try to help them, on the field too. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're those young players got to grow up quick, and we know that. Coach Heater's coached that position for a number of years, a long time, and he'll find a way to make them better quick. And we're going to help them by the way we line them up and do some things. We tried to help them a little bit on Saturday, but it didn't work out as much as we thought it would. So we just have to continue to get better, all of us, not just those guys, but all of us, and find a way to come out here and play our tail off on Saturday. These guys, I like this football team a lot. One thing I'll tell you about that, we got good kids, that football is important to them, and they'll come back and they'll play well.
Clint left the game early. Is he?
He should practice today, yes. He should practice today.
Are you going to settle into maybe a couple backs instead of trying to get all 4 time? I mean,
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, to be honest with you, we played primarily just 2 of them on Saturday.
Right.
If they're towards the end, we got Pitt, and they're right at the end, we got Anthony in. So, it's hard to get 4 ready, Woody, as you know, and at some point we're going to need all 4 with the way things fall. But I just think when you try to play 4 the entire game, you just don't get in a rhythm with them, and they don't. So we're going to try to, who we think the 2 are or 3 are that gives us the best shot at winning, and play those 3 and see where we go.
I mean, obviously they're all good running backs, or you wouldn't even have them at the position. So is it more the mental things in the offense that maybe determines who the guy is?
A lot of it's there's a lot of it's pass pro, and when we took a shot out there one time because we didn't pick up the blitz, and that you're going to lose your quarterback if you don't take care of, don't protect him. So a lot of it, our protections have something to do with it, and we got to make sure we got guys in there that understand the protections, and that's our job as coaches to make sure they do and play the guys we can trust in those situations.
You're emphasizing everything, but you took too many penalties. Were they calling it a little too close, or or is there?
The alignment penalties that we had would never have been called in our league. I mean, we just never, So that being said, I mean, we got to get lined up properly. But those are things that the receiver that much off the ball or that much on the ball or whatever never gets called in our league, or I haven't seen it called by the ACC. So obviously, some people call it a little closer than others, and we didn't do a good enough job of getting
coach our guys to get lined up properly. But those are things that shouldn't happen.
How much of that?
ACC this week?
ACC, yeah.
How much of that is an adjustment period in the course of a game and something that young players have to start to learn, just like schemes and everything else?
Well, I mean, it's no. I mean, we stress that every day in practice. I mean, we have guys sit there and watch for alignments and do all that, and it seems unfortunately we had way too many. So did both teams were penalized way too much in that particular game. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, thanks, guys.